AJ, we're about to shoot, right?
Yeah, whenever you're ready. What are you doing?
I'm looking for bugs.
Bugs, like Bugs Life bugs? You think I have
Bugs. The government.
the government bugs?
Big companies, Google, Facebook. They're listening everywhere.
No, they're not.
They
Stop.
are.
Oh, hold on. Let me ask Google. Hey Google, are you listening to me?
I send audio to Google after you say, "Hey Google," or when you physically trigger me.
Welcome to
Misconceptions
and Rants, the show that Doug and I like to get together and talk about some of the things that kind of get us frustrated on the internet.
Yeah, and today's is the tin hat theory.
Yes, everyone break out your tinfoil hats and put them on, because today we're talking about is Siri, Alexa, and Google listening to you.
Yeah.
As always, we are brought to you by Reynolds Wrap. Reynolds Wrap, the best way to keep the radio signals out of your skull and all the juicy flavor in.
And this actually goes back. I don't know if you remember when Facebook, the Facebook app first came out. Mm-hmm. The Facebook app first came out, and it asked permission for your microphone.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
And everybody was like, or it was Messenger. And they were like, I am not downloading Messenger. There's no way. And I still have friends today that still haven't installed the Messenger app because they say, no, that's a gateway to them listening.
I really need to buy some cold end.
Yeah. Now, here's the deal is when you open up Messenger, one of the things that you can do is record
voice messages
for your friend.
Yeah.
In order to record voice messages,
they need to give them permission.
Yeah, Messenger has to give you permission. So it wasn't any type of secretive thing. They asked, do you want permission? Are you going to give permission? Yeah. And so it just absolutely drives me crazy. Yes, they are listening and activated based on, like, if I said, hey Siri, it's gonna open up and turn on. But that's a trigger device that then records after that. Now, is it listening? Yeah, it has to actively listen, passively listen 24/7 for you to say that trigger word. But what it's listening for is what's said after that, and that's what it's
and that's what's being recorded, and that's what's being sent.
Yeah, sent to the cloud, interpreted, and then brought back, for what it wants to do. Millions of conversations per minute are being processed.
And it's so much.
And they're not looking for AJ's.
No, they're not. I mean, to be completely honest, you're not special enough for Google or the government to be like, oh my gosh, AJ said this, AJ's doing this. Like,
ain't nobody got time for that.
The big thing with this is that just like data, right? If people get upset at data and privacy data, and obviously when things like passwords are released and everything, that's a scary thing. But when these companies are taking this data, it's aggregate, it's anonymized. They don't sit there and know it's AJ that said this. They just have QA processes and everything else. Like I think it was Apple basically said that they do listen. Humans do listen every once in a while to these messages. Well, they have to.
Yeah, because they have to do work on the machines to make them better.
They have to tweak the algorithms and the natural language processing and everything else. But even in those respects, it's to fix the problem. Right. It's not to spy on you.
Right.
And so the thing is it's just got this nonsense has to stop. Where everybody is scared of the devices. It's not. We're not living in a world like that.
And I think that's definitely a generational thing of privacy, because I mean, young people like myself never, I think, have ever read the terms and agreement.
Yeah, nobody.
But I think, and a lot of young people that I know, like, understand what is private and what is out there, and they're okay with that. That's why we post so much, and that's why we're not afraid. It's because we know what it's okay, what's not okay.
Right.
And if I'm gonna have a private conversation with someone, I'm probably gonna do it in person, and I'm not gonna do it over text, and it's definitely not gonna be broadcasting it through my Google Home.
Right.
The
other one that people are always worried about is I mentioned this, and then Facebook showed me an ad
Right,
for it.
yeah.
You know, what do you think about that?
I'm watching you, Wazowski. Always watching.
Whew, she's nuts.
I think that's not just you mentioning it. I think that you have Googled it at some point.
That's the way I feel.
Yeah, I think at some point, because you're talking about it, it's in your life, you know, you're not thinking about it. And I think at one point, whether it was that week or that month or whatever, you're looking it up on Google, or you look up something close, or you click on something, right? Because you're like, oh, right? Because how many times have we seen something on Facebook and we're like, oh yeah, I clicked on it and then said something about it later, right? I think we're making that correlation of we said it and then we saw the ads.
Yeah.
But what it was is that we clicked on something, we Googled something, and now we're getting ads.
Oh my God, that makes so much sense.
And now, if you're logged in with your Google login, they have a universal look at you, whether you're on desktop or whether you're on your phone.
Yeah.
iPhone is the same way with a Mac. They know cross-device what you're doing, and like I can even open my desktop pages here. And so the thing is like you said, there's the chance that you were looking maybe at an ad or a video or something like that, and you looked at a product. Then a day later, you're on your phone and you see an ad for it.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't because you mentioned it or talked about it. It was because you had that history.
Right. So, what do you think about Amazon, Alexa, and Google listening to you? We'd love to hear your comments down below. What are some of your experiences? If you guys like this video, make sure you like it. Share it with your friends. We want more and more people to know and just see us goofing around.
If you got a great idea for us for the show too, something that bothers you that you want us to look into, let us know. We'd love to talk about it.
All right, until next video, we'll see you later.